Have you ever wondered why that afternoon sugar craving feels almost impossible to resist, or why, despite your best efforts, those sweet treats keep finding their way back into your daily routine? What if I told you that the substance you're consuming for comfort might be quietly orchestrating a symphony of health problems throughout your body? Join me on a personal journey through the sticky web of sugar addiction as I reveal the shocking ways this everyday ingredient transformed my health, and how understanding its effects finally helped me break free. From unexplained fatigue to surprising skin issues, I'll share what happens when sugar takes control and the life-changing benefits I experience when I finally cut back. The morning sunlight streamed through my kitchen window as I stirred another spoonful of sugar into my coffee, not giving it a second thought. This was just one of countless sugar doses I would consume throughout my day, the sweetener in my morning coffee, the hidden sugars in my healthy breakfast bar, the afternoon cookies that had become my reward for making it through half the workday, and the ice cream that had become my nightly comfort ritual. It wasn't until my annual physical that reality hit me square in the face. My doctor's concerned expression said everything before her words did. My blood work showed pre-diabetic glucose levels. My weight had climbed steadily over the past 3 years, and the chronic inflammation I've been experiencing wasn't just bad luck. It was directly connected to what I was putting into my body every single day. The average American consumes about 17 teaspoons of added sugar daily, my doctor explained, which is more than triple the recommended amount for women and double for men. When she asked me to track my sugar intake for just 1 week, I was shocked to discover I was consuming closer to 30 teaspoons daily, often without even realizing it. This revelation began my deep dive into understanding sugar's impact on our bodies. And what I discovered was both fascinating and terrifying. Sugar isn't just empty calories. It's a substance that actively works against our health in ways most of us don't fully comprehend. Let's start with what happens when sugar enters your body. Within minutes of consumption, your blood glucose levels spike, triggering your pancreas to release insulin. This hormone helps transport glucose from your bloodstream into your cells for energy. Sounds efficient, right? The problem emerges when this system is constantly activated. Each time you consume sugar, particularly refined sugar or high fructose corn syrup, your body experiences this glucose spike and insulin response. Over time, your cells can become less responsive to insulin, a condition known as insulin resistance, which is a precursor to type 2 diabetes. I learned that my pre-diabetic state had developed gradually, sip by sweetened sip, bite by sugary bite. But diabetes risk is just the beginning. The inflammation triggered by excess sugar consumption affects virtually every system in your body. I have been experiencing joint pain for years, attributing it to getting older at just 35. My skin would break out mysteriously, and I'd try expensive creams rather than examining what I was putting into my body. The science behind sugar-induced inflammation is clear. When we consume excess sugar, it triggers the release of inflammatory messengers called cytokines. These create a state of chronic, low-grade inflammation throughout the body. This isn't the helpful inflammation that heals a cut. It's a persistent, damaging process that contributes to everything from skin problems to heart disease. Speaking of heart health, sugar's impact extends far beyond just adding pounds to your waistline. Studies have shown that people who consume 17 to 21% of their calories from added sugar have a 38% higher risk of dying from cardiovascular disease compared to those who limit their sugar intake to 8% of calories. This was particularly alarming to me, as heart disease runs in my family. The connection between sugar and cognitive function was perhaps the most surprising discovery for me. I had been experiencing brain fog and difficulty concentrating, chalking it up to stress or lack of sleep. Research now suggests that high sugar consumption impairs cognitive function and may contribute to depression and anxiety. One study even found that men who consumed more than 67 grams of sugar daily were 23% more likely to develop anxiety or depression over a 5-year period compared to those consuming less than 40 grams. My energy levels had been on a constant roller coaster for years. I'd experience a burst of energy after my sugar-laden snacks, only to crash an hour later, reaching for more sugar to bring me back up. This vicious cycle had become my normal, but it was far from healthy. The constant blood sugar spikes and crashes were exhausting my adrenal system and disrupting my natural energy regulation. Perhaps most insidious is sugar's effect on our brain chemistry and reward pathways. Sugar triggers the release of dopamine, the same neurotransmitter activated by certain drugs, creating a genuine addiction cycle. This explains why cutting back on sugar can cause withdrawal symptoms, including headaches, irritability, and intense cravings. When I first attempted to reduce my sugar intake, these withdrawal symptoms hit me hard, confirming just how dependent my body had become. Sugar also disrupts our sleep patterns. The energy fluctuations it causes can make it difficult to fall asleep and reduce the quality of sleep we get. Poor sleep further increases sugar cravings the next day, creating yet another unhealthy cycle. I had been using sleep aid for years, never connected my insomnia to my diet choices. The impact on our immune system is equally concerning. High sugar consumption suppresses immune cell function, making us more susceptible to infections and prolonging recovery time. During cold and flu season, I had always been among the first to get sick and the last to recover. Could my sugar habit have been compromising my immune defense all along? One of sugar's most visible effects is on our skin. The inflammation it triggers accelerates aging through a process called glycation, where sugar molecules attach to proteins like collagen and elastin, making them stiff and malformed. This leads to wrinkles, sagging skin, and a dull complexion. The mysterious acne breakouts I've been experiencing in my 30s weren't so mysterious after all. They were directly connected to my sugar consumption. Perhaps most concerning is how pervasive hidden sugars are in our food supply. Even foods marketed as healthy often contain surprising amount of added sugar. Yogurt, granola bars, salad dressings, pasta sauces, and even bread can harbor significant amount of added sugar under various disguises. There are over 50 different names for sugar on food labels, including honey, agave nectar, dextrose, and fruit juice concentrate. Armed with this knowledge, I began my journey toward reducing sugar in my diet. The first week was undeniably challenging. Headaches, irritability, and intense cravings tested my resolve. But by the second week, something remarkable happened. My energy levels stabilized. No more afternoon crashes. My skin began to clear, and the joint pain that had bothered me for years started to subside. Within a month, I had lost 7 pounds without changing anything else in my lifestyle. My sleep improved dramatically. I was falling asleep faster and waking feeling genuinely rested for the first time in years. My concentration sharpened and the brain fog lifted. Even more surprising were the changes in my taste preferences. Foods I once found bland now reveal complex flavors my sugar-dulled taste buds had been missing. 3 months into my reduced sugar lifestyle, my doctor was amazed at my blood work results. My glucose levels had normalized, inflammation markers had decreased significantly, and my cholesterol profile had improved. But the numbers only confirmed what I already knew from how I felt. I had reclaimed my health by understanding and addressing sugar's impact on my body. I'm not suggesting everyone needs to eliminate sugar entirely. Rather, becoming aware of how much we're consuming and making informed choices about when and how we indulge can make an enormous difference. Here are some practical strategies I found helpful. Read labels carefully, looking for added sugars in all their forms. Aim to keep added sugar intake below 25 grams, 6 teaspoons, daily for women and 36 grams, 9 teaspoons, for men. Focus on whole foods that don't come with nutrition labels. Fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and proteins in their natural state don't contain added sugars. Gradually reduce sugar in your diet rather than attempting to quit cold turkey. This helps minimize withdrawal symptoms and increases your chances of sustainable change. Be particularly mindful of sugar-sweetened beverages, which can deliver a day's worth of sugar in a single serving without providing the satiety signals of solid food. Find healthy ways to satisfy your sweet tooth, such as fresh fruit or small amounts of dark chocolate, which has less sugar and provides beneficial antioxidants. My relationship with sugar continues to evolve. I still enjoy sweetness in my life, but now it's on my terms, a mindful indulgence rather than an unconscious addiction. The occasional dessert is far more satisfying when it's truly occasional, and my body's improved functioning is a daily reward that far outweighs the fleeting pleasure of excess sugar. Understanding sugar's impact on our health doesn't mean living a life of deprivation. Instead, It empowers us to make choices that support our well-being while still enjoying food's pleasures. The key is awareness. Knowing what we're consuming and how it affects our bodies gives us the power to create a balanced approach that serves our health for the long term. If you've been experiencing unexplained health issues like fatigue, skin problems, weight gain, mood swings, or frequent illness, consider examining your sugar intake. The solution to many of these problems might be simpler than you think. Hidden in plain sight in your everyday food choices. Have you noticed how sugar affects your body? Drop a comment below sharing your experience with sugar and its effects on your health. If you found this information valuable, click subscribe to join our community of health-conscious individuals looking to make informed choices about what we put into our bodies. Together, we can navigate the complex world of nutrition and discover the power of mindful eating.